popping, everybody? It's the No Level Cap podcast. We back once again with the crew. I just want y'all to give me a minute to introduce my incredible co-hosts. We've got the collector of collectors, the master of Twitch, Will Coleman. What's popping, Will?
Nothing much, my guy. Just been catching up on some more shows from seasons past and current season, and just been kind of enjoying this time off of streaming since I beat my last RPG. So,
what's the next game you streaming?
The next game I'm streaming, I said last time it's gonna be Crisis Core.
There we go. There we go.
We want to get a new one in.
Hey. Next up, we got the Black Daredevil and the secret weapon of No Level Cap, Terrence Flowers. Terrence, what's going on, man?
You know, I feel like whenever we do these intros, everybody else talks about the games that they played. So, you know what? I'll actually toss one out for once. I hadn't really told anyone, but I've been playing Sonic Frontiers. I'm not like deep into it. I think I'm maybe about like 7 or so hours into it, maybe. But I've been in. It's good. It has its cons, but for the most part, I like the direction that the game is taking. When it has its cool, I'll put it this way: when it has its cool moments, it has cool moments. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I think that is a really cool direction for Sonic, and you know, hopefully, Sega will make the next game even better.
So, are you saying it deserves the 7 that it got
for a Sonic game? Yeah, I'd say a 7 is. For a 7 to a Sonic fan is like, oh man, we got a 9 on our hands. So that's how that works.
For all the turds that they have put out, a 7 will do just fine.
Oh my God! I mean, I know something about that as a Star Ocean fan, so I mean, I get it. But like, oof.
It's one of those things where sometimes you just take what you can get.
I mean, you ain't never lied. That's definitely what you got to do sometimes.
It's kind of like the One Piece game, where that game, it got like a bunch of 7s and whatnot. But for a One Piece fan, like they'll thoroughly enjoy that game. And so sometimes, as a fan, your game may not get like a high score, but as a fan, you'll probably appreciate it more than the person that's reviewing it and not really that big of a fan of it. So,
I mean, that used to be the point of a 7. Like the point of a 7 used to be like, all right, this is probably a pass if you're like a casual fan of this franchise or this genre. But if you're a hardcore fan, you should still probably check it out. That used to be what a 7 meant. Like, okay, so like if you are a hardcore Sonic fan, a 7, like, okay, you at least got to give it a look. If you're a hardcore Star Ocean fan, I think Star Ocean, it wound up with like 7s and like high 7s or some shit like that. And like, from everything I've heard, every Star Ocean fan has said nothing bad about that last Star Ocean game. So I'm excited to get into it at some point. Next up, we got One Punch Man and the Master of Combos, Devin Butts. What's going on, Devin?
I'm good, man. Actually been you seen we roommates. I've been watching Dragon Quest: The Adventures of Dai. I've been requested this from a good friend of ours, Tim, and also Rakeem for the longest. Every time he be like, "Hey man, you watch Dragon Quest?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't watched it." Hey man, you watch Dragon Quest? Nah, I ain't watched it yet, man. Hey man, you watch Dragon Quest? Nah. So I finally started watching Dragon Quest Adventures of Dai. I must say I'm actually liking it, man. It's a pretty good anime. I can see why he like it. It's obviously given a little bit of Dragon Ball-ish vibes because I mean, Dragon Quest is like a curatorial, like properties, like a lot of characters look similar, like Dai looks like Gohan a little bit to me. Just the show is pretty good though. I mean, there's a lot of outlandish stuff like Rakim said, man, the show about to get crazy. All I'll say is I've seen the guy stand in lava and just be like, yeah, I'm good. Like, sir, that's lava. He was just like, I'm good, man. I'm like, all right. So I guess this is what's in store for me. But I've been enjoying that. What'd you say, Will?
And so let me just sip this potion real quick. My knees are good.
No, I wasn't no potion. He was just straight. He was raw in the magma, just straight raw. Just no suit, no nothing. Just I'm like, you ain't burning.
Can I just say the idea of just standing straight raw in some magma is a fucking hilarious way to phrase that shit,
bro. I mean, that's what it was. He had a suit that was like it's impervious to magic. Ain't no magic in it. So I thought maybe he activated that again. It's like no, but his suit broke. So he just standing raw in lava, just holding up people on a boulder. Like, yeah, I'm gonna throw them out here and. He just stood there like this and lava was like, all right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's a fantasy anime, so that's what you expect.
But he got that supreme athlete's foot.
But it's lava, Sage. Even in fantasy, lava's still lava.
Not if you the right guy, or somebody just look at the lava and say no.
I guess he was, man. Then they hit it with the little Terminator 2. Once he got in gold, he had a little thumb up. Like, it's like, all right.
Did
So,
he
yeah,
live?
I don't think he did. He might show up again. I mean, I can't imagine. Well, maybe he might. He stood in lava and was like, "I'm cool." So he might. I don't know. So yeah, I've been watching that this week and been enjoying that, and I'm just trying to get myself prepared for the other shenanigans this anime got in store for me. So
That's what's up. I mean, I've wanted to get into Dragon Quest Adventures of Die, but like it's a long series. It's like 100 episodes, I think, solid. That's a lot considering they took out all the filler. Like there's an OG version of it from like the early 90s, like 1990, 1991, somewhere in that range. And you know, that one was 65 episodes. And that was with like, you know, slowing the pace, adding filler, that type of stuff. 100 episodes, no filler means that manga was long as a bitch. And I do want to get to it, but like it's so many long anime. Like I would rather just like stay focused on like all the fall shows, and then maybe I do have a show that I'm watching right now. I'm watching Macross Delta. I'm trying to get through that, and that's the old show I'm watching. And everything else, I'm trying to keep it new, keep it fresh, because you know we do an anime podcast. Speaking of, lastly, I am Sage Ashford, the man that won't shut the fuck up. I have not. The only thing I've been watching is like keeping current with like the fall anime, and then playing a little Judgment on the side. The beat 'em up, the Yakuza beat 'em up, where you like play a detective instead of a Yakuza member or a former Yakuza member. If you didn't know, No Level Cap goes live every Monday morning. We appear on the YouTube version for you video fans. If you prefer the audio version, we live on Spotify as well. We also on TikTok, and I want y'all to give us a follow, give us some likes before the government bans that clock out. So this year, or this week rather, it is still somehow award season, even though it's like January, like the end of January. It is still award season, so we're gonna do a little looking back on last year's anime. This time it's time for the sake of preparing for Crunchyroll's Anime Awards 2022. You know, last year had some fire anime. Y'all heard us talk about it all throughout the year. I think we covered everything except the winter season, right?
Yeah,
we definitely did spring, summer, you know, fall. So like we covered some of everything.
Oh yeah, because the podcast wasn't a thing yet. Yeah, that's right.
Right. I think actually that was like one of my last Twitch streams before I like stopped doing Twitch that year. I was looking at the winter season because we hadn't had a chance to yet. But I think that was it. Like after that, we just started covering anime. So y'all kind of know our thoughts on a lot of anime, what we finished, what we didn't finish, what we got into, what we thought was good. But still, you know, it's awards time. So now we're forced to look at what was nominated by a jury of anime experts. You know, they telling us all about what they know, and they put their nominees in, and they've left it for us anime peasants to check out and see and select which is the best. So we kind of go. It's a lot of categories, so some of we might speed through. Like this first one, you've got the best VA performance in English. So you've got Amanda Lee playing Marin Kitagawa for My Dress Up Darling. You've got Chirami Lee for Kotaro Sato for Kotaro Lives Alone. My God. Natalie Van Sistine, Your Forger, Spy Family. You got Sung Won Cho, you know, Pro ZD himself playing Kage in Ranking of Kings. Zach Aguilar, David from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Zeno Robinson, Gamma 2, and Dragon Ball Superhero. Terrence, do you have a pick?
Funny enough, I've actually heard the only performance here I haven't heard is Cherami Lay from Katara Lives Alone. Out of all these, I think I would go with Amanda Lee for Marin. She just did a really good job with the character. Like she's on par with the Japanese voice actress in my opinion. So I really like her. Close behind her would definitely be Pro ZD as Kage. Like he did an excellent job there too. So you can't go wrong with either one of those in my opinion.
Okay. Will, do you have a choice?
Well, I'm very familiar with like Zach, Jeremy, and I'm pretty much familiar with everybody aside from Natalie Van Sistine because I hadn't watched Spy Family in English. But I do know about my boy Zeno Robinson. So if I had to really point my finger anywhere, I'm pointing at him. I voted for him. And that's just based simply on the fact that,
Hey, look,
I'm with it.
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't listen
I'm
to no
saying
fucking
it like
dubs.
it is.
I don't listen to no fucking dubs. So I'm gonna just say I'm voting for Zeno just because it is. Like, and that's how we doing it. Like, I don't give a fuck. You get mad, you can be upset. Like, I can't tell you if any of the other people did a bad job, did a good job. I don't listen to dubs. And I mean, like, if you like dubs, I don't have no problem. Like, all these people, like everybody on the panel, Rakeem, he is not here today. He also, everybody, they all listen to dubs. It's just me that's like, I don't listen to dub, but you don't see me hassling them about it. I think we did a dub versus sub episode ages ago, and I told people to just get the fuck over it and watch whatever you want to watch. So, like, I don't have a problem with it, but I don't watch dubs. So I got to go off something superficial. So this going to be it. So that's why I'm going for Zeno, and we just going to keep it moving. Devin, you have a vote.
So I really like David in Cyberpunk. I actually finished that. I thought that was a pretty good performance. Now I will say though, watching this Dragon Ball movie, I do like the Gamma characters. I think they were great additions to Dragon Ball, and I think their voices like fit both of their characters like pretty well. So I think I'm gonna actually give it to Xeno too, because I really like their performance as Gamma 2. I think that was pretty dope.
By the way, I'm sure somebody is going to look at it and be like, "Oh, wait, but didn't you watch Dragon Ball Superhero in theaters in English?" And the answer is no. It wasn't on purpose, but like the cheaper version of it was like the sub version. So I was like, "Oh, I guess we're going to see the sub." And we didn't even realize we had paid for the sub. We got there, and I was like, "We get the sub?" And me, Rakeem, and our boy and our roommate Ty, we just all looked at each other like, "I think we got the sub." And we all just was like, whatever.
Okay.
How'd you see it, Will?
How did I see it?
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, like, what version? English or Japanese? Not literally how you saw it.
I saw it both ways.
Okay.
Yeah,
I saw it in English. I was just curious since Sage mentioned it. I was curious if anybody here like actually did watch in English or if everybody did see it in Japanese. So okay.
My man, he flew the 7 seas for that one, so but it's all good. All right, so for the best VA performance Japanese, you've got Atsumi Tanizaki, Anya Forger, Spy Family, Chika Anzai, Chisato Nishikigi, Lycanthropus Recoil, Fairu's Eye, Jolene Kujo, Stone Ocean, Misaki Kuno, who plays Faputa, and Irumyui. I've never seen the show, so I have no idea how to pronounce that one. I'm not gonna lie. Maiden Abyss, Golden City of the Scorching Sun, Natsuki Hanae, Tanjiro Kamado, Demon Slayer Season 2, Yuki Kaiji, Eren Yeager, Attack on Titan Final Season. Let me just go ahead and get this out of the way. One of the main reasons that I love Lycanthropus Recoil so much is because Chika Anzai does such a phenomenal job bringing Chisato to life. Like she just, even like the little tiny idiosyncrasy she has in her voice just makes me like pop, and I just have like this smile on her face watching that character do just little things like argue with some of her coworkers and shit. So like that one's my voice. I mean, that one's my choice going away, like easy. Devin, do you have a pick?
So I really like the Japanese Jolene performance. I also like Tanjiro. I feel like Tanjiro, his performance, the voice acting is a lot of emotion, like especially like that last fight, season 2. Oh man, they boy, I'm just like I almost felt like the pain for Tanjiro. At that last fight, it was just so emotionally driven, man. So I think I know JoJo is like my favorite out of everything right now, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Natsuki on that one.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Will, you got a pick?
Yeah, actually having pretty much heard most of these people through a good chunk of their career, I kind of gave it on my bias to Atsumi Tanizaki. I gave it to her because she nails being this little kid so well that it fooled me. It fooled me because in my mind I'm thinking to myself, oh, this could be a little kid because I learned that the voice actor for Kotaro is a 9-year-old kid.
Hmm.
Yeah, I learned that when I went to go watch the show. I'm like, oh, so they really did go get a kid to voice the kid. Oh, okay. But I love how she brings Anya to life and just has everything there. She's pretty much made that character for me, if I had to say so myself. No disrespect to Yuki Kaji, because he's been holding it down as Aaron for like years. So,
Look, Yuki
but I
Kaji
give
got
it to
enough.
Aaron.
He got
He
enough.
do.
Shit. Man, been around for a while, just holding it down on a lot of characters. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, like, by the way, if Chisato and Like It or Recoil wasn't on this list, it would have definitely been Anya. Like Anya is like the actress for Anya. Atsumi, she does fantastic job. Like I fucking love that Anya. Like it's you know, like listening to her talk about peanuts, that shit just had me in stitches every week when I was watching it. Terrence, what's your choice?
So for me, it actually will be same as Will, Atsumi Tanizaki, just because I think, I mean, that's not easy. Voicing an actual kid, like not easy at all, especially she's like 4 or 5, and making it sound not only sound accurate, but also just believable in terms of mannerisms, speech and everything. Like Anya, the way she pronounces words and everything, it legit sounds like a little kid. Like she's not going to have perfect language, you know, she's going to flub it up. So I would give it to her just because I think she did an amazing job. I do agree that the person who voiced Chisato in Likers Recoil, she was really good as well. And Yuki Kaiji, you can't go wrong with him. But yeah, that's the one I'm going to go with, Atsumi Tanizaki.
I respect that choice like 100%. In fact, all the choices are strong. Like those are some strong ass performances. So
yeah.
I
thought that of English too. I thought that all those are actually really strong. So they picked some good ones this year for both sides, in my opinion.
Well, all that comes to a stop. Cause this goddamn best romance. Look, I don't even watch romance like that, like at all. But y'all gotta get the fuck out of here. Y'all ought to be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Like, what? Yeah. Oh, and let's run down the nominees. For best romance, you got Call of the Night, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Komi Can't Communicate, Love After World Domination, My Dress Up Darling, and Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. Look, I really should be asking this in general of Crunchyroll, and I am, but also like, if for no other place than the room, where the fuck are the shoujo? Y'all should be a fucking shame. Like all these, like, don't. If you come up here to some, oh yeah, you know this is a. What about My Dress Up Darling or Call It? That's My Dress Up Darling is a shonen. Yeah. Shikimori is Not Just a Cutie. I believe is also just a straight up shonen. Might just be a seinen, but like they not no shoujos, like none of them, and that's fucking disgraceful. Like you gonna tell me? I know it was some good shoujo that happened last year. Now I know I lean more action. They make good action shoujos. What's that one? It was like this chick stuck in a fantasy world. They make a lot of them, like Magic Knight Rare, and it's a lot of them that's been goated over the years. There's just no excuse for this. I mean, I don't. If I had to pick one off this list, it'd be Call of the Night because I saw some of it. It was pretty solid. But like this list, it bothers me. Terrence and Will, I know y'all watch more romance than me. Terrence, how do you feel about this list?
So honestly, the shoujo question you asked, it really opens up a bigger conversation because I've actually seen shoujo fans and like women talk about this. Is the fact that shoujo is actually kind of it hasn't been as prominent as it used to be. It just hasn't.
They've been shoving it into the ghetto. Yeah,
shoujo is not as prominent as it used to be. It just is what it is. Like shonen has definitely like overshadowed it heavily, and even for stuff that's dealing with romance, a lot of it, like you said, it is shonen. There's not, I guess, really. That's kind of like the shortest answer that I can give for it. Is just that, yeah, shoujo is not out there like it used to be. Like there's still shoujo shows being made. Don't get me wrong, but the popularity, it just isn't there for them like the shonen stuff is, and you know that's. You toss it up to the industry being in the state that it's in. I mean, I don't know why that's the case, but well, I have an idea. I think that at this point the industry just wants to appeal more so to boys and men. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I think they can
that's some of it.
Yeah, it's a big conversation. I put it. There's no way I can condense it into like a little 3-minute answer. So that's
yeah.
But to give you my pick for this, I think I'll go with My Dress Up Darling, just because I do think I do like the dynamic of the couple in the show, especially just the fact that you have the cosplay girlfriend and then you have the boyfriend who makes the cosplays, and that's different because having a guy who knows how to do that sort of thing, that's not something that's explored that often in TV.
Yeah.
So I'll go with it, and I wish I had watched more of Call of the Night to really give a more of an opinion on that, but I'll just go with My Dress Up Darling.
What's your pick?
Okay, so my pick is gonna be Call of the Night because I've actually kind of watched further into the show, and like Terrence likes the dynamic of that. I like the dynamic between the two characters in that because like the female is kind of like this mischievous little night dweller, and then the guy is like, "Hey, look, I just want to do something different. I want to become this, so I gotta mess with you." And even though it's something he's like, I want to do, he's slowly falling into it for real. Like, okay, I think I kind of do really want her. I really do. So it's really interesting. Even though at one point I thought they was going to bring in something really supernatural, it feels like, I don't know. I hadn't got to that point to see it, but I'm pretty sure it's probably coming up soon.
I have a feeling their romance probably is the better one. I would like
you
to
gotta
give
go
more
with
of
what
an
you
opinion.
saw the most of.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
if I had
yeah.
actually saw it, I think I probably would choose it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand. I respect it.
Look, I understand because like as anime becomes more Western oriented, like you do start to appeal more to what people in the West want. And then there's also that whole thing about shonen being like kind of getting a popularity with men and women.
Yeah, definitely.
Like there's a lot of shonen shows that have like a popularity with women, but I'm like, God damn.
I mean, Demon Slayer definitely is like that.
It's been for years.
I mean, Haikyuu, shoot, there's so many that have high female demographics. Yeah.
Even it's crazy because it's a lot of fan service to it, but I guess just because they show female characters kicking so much ass. But like I've noticed Fairy Tail has like a huge female audience where and it's like a lot of shipping that you can do because it's like a lot of women paired up with a lot of dudes. And then they all get to kick ass. So even that one. So like shonen does have that, like it grabs a lot of people, but they still shouldn't just be boxing shoujo in like that. Devin, did you have like a pick or did you want to just like skip?
So this one I don't really have much on because I'm not big into romance, and most of these I haven't seen. I have heard a lot about Call of the Night, so if I had to just give one to it a pick, it would be that. But yeah, romance ain't my thing, but I should expand on that because I like some action. I like somebody getting punched in the mouth. But we gotta expand.
Hey man, sometimes you can have some romance. Well, no, let me not say that. As soon as the thought came, I was like, "Wait a minute, that might not come out the right way."
Wait a minute. No.
I know they could have found something. Somebody suggested what was it, Sasaki and Miyano? That was one I heard that I was like, yeah, I've seen like I heard nothing but positive shit about that. It was like a boys love romance, and it's just like
a BL, okay,
yeah.
Oh, wait, I've heard of that show. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like it was pretty well received. Sasaki.
Oh, Sasaki.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I think that's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was Oh yeah, I do remember that one from last year. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they just, I don't know, like I'm looking at this list and I'm just supposed to like, I know Kaguya-sama's not a shonen, it's like a seinen, but like that's still the same kind of like damn. And there are some cool like there was one that I never did get a chance to talk about that I wanted to get to last year, Requiem of the Rose King. That's like a shoujo action series that I was like, man, that looked kind of cool, but they left that off the list too.
Can I just put Macross in place of mine?
You need a new Macross.
You would need a new Macross. All right, look, enough of the railing against Crunchyroll because I mean I'm a peasant. They didn't ask us. Well, what shows would you put on the list? So I mean it don't matter, I guess.
Yeah.
Best fantasy. Demon Slayer, Entertainment District, Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Seasons 1 and 2. Overlord 4. Ranking of Kings Season 2, or, well, Core 2, really, not Season 2. And the Case Study of Vanitas, Core 2. Will, what's your choice?
Oh, my choice was just flat out Demon Slayer. And I mean, come on, it's kind of it's crazy because I look at it, and another thing for my fantasy choice is that I ask myself this, even though I always say this, can I make this a live action? And I looked at Demon Slayer and I said, you can't do that.
Yeah,
They'll try, but
nah.
they'll try. But if you attempt to make that live action, nah, that's the fantasy.
You're gonna need a budget
my
of
vote.
$3 trillion to make that a decent live
$3
action.
trillion.
You just cut out all the effects because I mean those aren't real. Like, how do y'all feel about that? This is like a little side conversation, real quick. But like, how do y'all feel about that? The fact that they when they do all the different elemental effects, those aren't real. Like that's not actually happening. That's just shown for the viewer. But they don't have no elemental powers.
You're talking about in Demon Slayer itself?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like they don't have any elemental powers. Like that's the sword. Like when you see the water, it's to symbolize that they're moving like water. Like the creators actually, or I feel like either the creator or the animation studio, but I think it's the creator said like it's just symbolizing that he's moving like water. It's symbolizing he hits with the force of thunder, but like they don't actually have no elemental powers. How do y'all feel about that?
I didn't know that actually. I mean, learn something new every day.
How do I feel about it? I think that's just interesting as hell because that kind of gives like a bit of context to someone who's paying attention. Just like, oh, that can't really just be happening right there. Like, imagine your opponents just having to see some water just magically flow off your sword. They'd be like, oh, I need to move. Like, you
definitely get the fuck out the way.
I guess because I've always noticed like the effects on like when they would do like the water breathing, like it would be like very like what's the word I'm looking for? It'd be like paintbrush, almost like very.
Yeah, you're talking about the way it looks. Yeah.
Yeah, like the way they animated. And I always wondered, like, I just thought it was the style, like stylized.
I think that's a stylistic choice from the studio from Ufotable. So
yeah. But see, Zenitsu, his lightning looked like lightning. Like his ain't real either.
They say none of them real.
No,
they say it's
none
all
of it's
just
real.
I will say I think that's cool, but I think for just how good they did those effects and how much emphasis they put on them is almost like, well, if it's almost to me, it's like if that's not real, why put so much like you make it's like that look like lightning. Like
I guess it's another thing that's kind of like we're in a show that's about demons attacking regular people, so it's like, why are we trying to make this the more realistic thing that you don't have the water and stuff attached to it? Is like that.
Well, I think that's to point out, like that's why the struggle is so hard. Like they just fighting with regular swords. Like the effects are just effects. Like in reality, they just using regular swords to fight these people. They don't have any special powers, and that's why the struggle's so hard in the first place.
Oh. Well, I thought they were just weaker.
That's crazy.
That's just kind of it.
Hey, well, see, the problem is if y'all wasn't bitch made, you could have finished them off by now.
Hey, man, I mean, just regular people fighting demons. I mean, yeah.
So wait,
Yo, Devin.
Never mind.
Go ahead.
Devin, what's your choice for best fantasy?
Man, I want to give it to Demon Slayer like Will said, but I ain't gonna lie, man. Overlord. Oh, okay. When I look at anime, when I think of fantasy, and I guess this is just kind of like I've been shaped from gaming too, so I think about fantasy. I think about RPGs. Overlord just got that like fantasy RPG like feel for me and setting. I mean, they literally they go into like so many different types of like different creatures. It's almost like this. Of course, it's like a game, so it's like they got all these different creatures and races and stuff like that. Man, this is. Because Demon Slayer is so freaking good. But I
go with the one with the protagonist that ain't trash. So pick Demon Slayer.
I mean, that's one thing I would say about Overlord. That's so weird when you like hear how he is in the game, and then you hear his actual voice, and he's like just timid, like, oh, she like it kind of take me out of it. I mean, like, but it's just like I think I'm gonna give it Demon Slayer. I enjoyed that. Was just fire. But I got to give a strong nod to Overlord. Just when I hear the word fantasy, that anime just really puts me in that mindset of fantasy. But if I'm going off something just straight fire fantasy anime, I gotta give the Demon Slayer.
That's fair.
And a nod to Rankings of Kings. That was very good fantasy in my opinion too. So
I really wish that we had Rakim for right now, just so we could have that discuss. Like Rakim saw Ranking of Kings and Mushoku Tensei, so it would be like a more interesting back and forth. Terrence, what's your pick, man?
So I hadn't seen all of Ranking Kings, but I've seen enough to say that I am glad that it's on this list. But I will say that to me, hands down, the choice is going to be Mushoku Tensei, because when I think fantasy and like a fantastical world, Mushoku Tensei just hits all that. Like the world that it creates, it's an amazing one. You know, you can say what you will about the main character or anything else that might be problematic about it, but in terms of being a fantasy anime, Mushoku Tensei is pretty top tier. That, and it needs a win, man. It didn't get anything last year. It needs something this year. And a lot of these other shows like Demon Slayer is going to win other stuff, so I'm not going to give it to that. And Ranking of Kings, while like I said, I'm glad it's here, there's other stuff that I think it could win, but this, I feel like Mushoku Tensei needs to win this one. It deserves it.
I'm not going to, poke my chest out and be like, oh, this is definitely number one. The rest of them all garbage. But because I hadn't seen them all. If I had, I'd be more confident in being like, an asshole about it. But I'm just going to say that Mushoku Tensei, definitely, of the ones that I saw, man, that's like top 20 anime of all time for me. Like that show.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that show, like the way that they was building that world, it's an isekai, but it's like these new isekai, like a lot of them, they have these characters that follow the main character around, and it becomes like a fucking cult. Like everybody, they don't have personalities that exist outside of the main character. And Mushoku Tensei is not like that. It's really, they say built different. That show really is built different. Is the protagonist a piece of shit? Yeah, he is. But like you get to see his character development, and you see him like learn to not be a piece of shit. You see him learn to change, learn to grow. You see him, learn to respect, like learn to like show love for the people around him. And like, this person that I at first I was like, I was flirting with, as a joke. Then I fell in love with him, and then they abandoned me, and now I got to deal with that. The episode where they went to where his tutor went to the village where nobody could talk. Nobody talked. They all read each other's minds, but she couldn't read anybody's mind. So it was like she was deaf. That episode, heartbreaking, but beautiful. Like so much of that show is just great. Like, yeah, there are problematic elements. We talked about that. I think that might be our most viewed clip of the channel by like a lot. But like, even despite the problematic elements, that like, there's a reason why I enjoy that show. Like, there's a reason why we just kept talking about that show all last year. Like me, Terrence and Rakeem, we just be in the Discord like, man, y'all see this latest episode of Mushoku Tensei? That show was wild. Like, that show top tier to me. And like, I can't, once you get past that initial element of Rudius being kind of like a fucking creep, like once you get past that, the rest of the show just falls together so well. Like even the moment where he was like just looking for a hug from his dad, it's got to be the choice. That one's got to be the choice. Best drama: Made in Abyss, The Golden City of the Scorching Sun, Kotaro Lives Alone, Dance Dance Dancier, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Attack on Titan, and 86 Part 2. I don't have a very strong opinion on these because I didn't see most of them. However, 86, what I've seen of 86 is excellent. So I'm going to pick 86. Will, do you have a choice?
86 has been on my list, and I haven't got to it, so I'm not going to speak on it. But there are two up here I watched, which is Kotaro Lives Alone and Attack on Titan. I hadn't got too far into Kotaro Lives Alone, but it has definitely hit a few points where I'm just like, I see what people are talking about, because I've recently seen people talking about the show on my Twitter. Like, this is like an existential crisis anime, or like a, what is it? Neurodivergent trauma, the anime. This is what I heard it was called. And I'm just like, I got to see what y'all talking about.
It's crazy because looking at this poster, like when I saw it was here, I was like, this is drama?
Yeah, it has some moments where it touches on like some little things, Terrence. It does, and you just kind of like if you don't pay attention to it, you'll miss it. But if I had to pick the drama for me, because I hadn't watched at least 2 or 3 of these shows up here, it would have to be Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. It would have to be that, because they definitely have built it so well so far. and I know what people are kind of scared of because they're going to give us the last 2 bits of it this year. They say so. I can see the fear building up behind the fan base, but with what they did for part 2, final season part 2, I like it. It did very well. It hit close to the manga and everything. So, by all means, Attack on Titan is my vote.
All right, Devin, what's up? What you got?
So I've seen some of the first part of the final season of Attack on Titan, and I mean Attack on Titan is just drama filled, anyways, just
It
drama and just a lot of destruction and stuff. So that's what that show is based on. I have finished Cyberpunk Edge Runners. And at first glance, when I saw this on Netflix, I didn't really think that it would be something like to have like I guess like the struggle with like the David's like his mom dies. He's he basically just goes balls to the wall. He gets this little the thing he puts on his body, enhances stuff, and it gets to a point where he just like he doesn't care anymore. He feels like okay, anytime I'm special, then he realizes he really ain't special. And at the end, it's like things go down south. So I would probably say Edge Runners for me personally, because there were some dynamic, like emotional, like relationship things going on in that show, especially with him and his love interest. One of the guys that actually gets cyber psychosis and dies. He kind of does a thing where he kind of like takes a piece of his arm and kind of brings it with him when he gets this suit. So I think I'm pick Cyberpunk for me. But I'm the Attack on Titan. I know once I finish it, I know it's gonna be drama filled because it's always drama filled. But I'm going to pick that because I have finished it. So
Fair enough. That's because I finished it. It's always a great reason to pick something.
I know Attack on Titan. I've heard and seen some people talk about Attack on Titan, especially what Aaron is doing, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds lit.
Terrence, what's your pick, man?
For a Mappa show, Dance Dance Sewer didn't like get any kind of traction. I feel like I remember wanting to check it out, and I think I watched the first episode. I could see it being like the dark horse of this category because it really it's probably one of those anime that was good.
Dancing anime, right?
Yes, yeah. I was trying to make sure I didn't confuse it with anything else, but yeah, it is. Out of all these, even though I haven't seen all of it, I kind of want to go with 86 just because not only was it a drama in the anime, but a drama in real life getting it finished. Because 86, for those that don't know, 86 had so many production issues, and the second part of it actually got put on hold because of the production issues. It's kind of like the same thing that Uncle from Another World is going through. It's just, and I think Dear Automata is going through that now too, where it's just like, now we're starting to have more and more of these animes having production issues. But I kind of want to give it to 86, even though I haven't seen all of it. I think I want to lean on that. But I do like Devin. I do like your argument for Cyberpunk. I do agree with that. I do think that the drama in Cyberpunk is really well done. So I don't think you could go wrong with that as a choice either.
Yeah.
I was wrong. It is the ballet anime. That's what.
Okay, it's the ballet. Okay.
The ballroom anime is Welcome to the Ballroom.
It's funny that you said ballroom, and in my head I thought ballet, so that's why I just said yes.
Had the same problem, which makes me, classless lout or whatever. But I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize.
Well, I mean, hey, I'll definitely admit that I'm classless, so no shame in my game.
I'm still stuck in Squire class, so y'all give me a break. Best comedy. Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Ultra Romantic, Kotaro Lives Alone, which, how you going to be best drama and best cop? Never mind.
Best drama.
My Dressed Up Darling. Yeah, I guess best dramedy. I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, best
Spy Family, Uncle from Another World, and Yo Boy, Kong Ming.
Yeah.
It's your boy.
Kong Ming.
Hey man, shout out to the localizers. I know they had fun coming up with that title.
They had.
Terrence, what's your pick, man?
I'm riding the train for Uncle from Another World all the way. Like, man, when I tell you that this anime is funny, like, please believe me, this show is it. There's episodes that just have me just laughing so hard. The uncle is the biggest Sega fan, and if you ever watch the show, you'll see what I mean by that. watch Uncle from Another World, man. Even though it ran into production issues again, so the final episode hasn't dropped, but please support the show, please.
Please do.
Terrence's fervent support of Uncle from Another World and just the few clips I saw from it, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Uncle from Another World.
Hey,
Just because, like, I seen some clips on Reddit anime, and I was sitting there in tears myself. I'm like, okay, all right, I rock with this show. I really need to give that show a full, like, proper try. I will get to that at some point.
Please do.
So that's gonna be my pick. Devin, do you have a pick?
I'm gonna go with Uncle too, man. The little bit that I've seen of it, I know Terrence just mentioned like the whole being a Sega fan thing. I'm like, this looks hilarious. When I first saw it on Netflix, I didn't know what to think of it. Just reading the synopsis, and I didn't really like watch it then. But going back after Terrence suggested, I'm like, yeah, this part is funny.
dude, you'll appreciate this. They make a rise from your grave joke.
Oh, well,
You gotta watch it.
I know what that is referring to, so yeah.
For those that don't know, that's what is it? Golden Axe?
Alter Beast.
Yeah, Alter Beast. I don't know why I was thinking Golden Axe. Yeah, Alter Beast. Yeah, it's Alter Beast joke. But Devin and I, years ago, we used to joke about just how garbled that sound like coming from a console back then. Rise from your grave.
Rise from your grave.
All right. Will, what's your pick, man?
You already know, bro. I'm already on track with Uncle from Another World.
It's a sweep. Let's go.
Clean sweep. Let's go.
For anyone who hasn't sat down with it, go do it. I promise you, it is worth it. It is worth the watch. It is so good.
Best action. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Demon Slayer Entertainment District, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, Lycra's Recoil, and Spy Family. Devin, what
I'm already ready, man.
I mean, I figured that's why I was like, yeah, let's go, Devin.
Bruh. Okay. All right. So okay. As y'all know, I'm probably the biggest JoJo fan on this podcast. It has some action. JoJo is never short of action. You got some action in every JoJo there is. Cyberpunk, some doggone action filled. But I tell you one anime that was just like, bruh, my eyes are about to explode. There's too much going on. How did they do this? Demon Slayer. That last fight. Though actually, when the fighting started, it was just lit from there. The TV screen was actually sparking from all the just on fire. I'm like, man, turn the TV off. Dude. Like I said, I'm not gonna be that guy, man. I love JoJo something. No, I'm gonna just be real. I think best action gotta go to Demon Slayer, man. Like it's just that anime. It's him. Like if Demon Slayer was a dude, he would be him. That's him. So I just got to do the due diligence and just give that anime respect. That action is just some of the best I've ever seen, man. Like that last fight, it's like they brought a sorcerer into like the anime studio that last few like episodes and just like animate all this and just it was just too much, man. So I got to give it to the player, man.
Hey, look, before we get on to anybody else, we got to stop, okay? Just because the show good don't mean it's got to be in every fucking category.
Man,
what in the fuck is Spy Family doing in this category?
You know what? That's a damn good question. Now that you mentioned it,
I like Spy Family a lot. Like that was was that our anime of the year?
Yeah,
that was our anime of the year. What the fuck is that doing in best action? It's got some hands, but not. It ain't got no Attack on Titan hands, no Cyberpunk. Like first episode of Cyberpunk, I ain't watched it. I ain't watched the whole show. But the first episode of Cyberpunk got more action than the entirety of Spy Family. Get the fuck out of here. That shit shouldn't be on this list. It could be on a lot, but not on this. They got to stop.
So that's one I got to go and revisit. But I was looking like just what I've seen of that. It didn't look like it was a super action-filled anime. I haven't watched it all. I was kind of looking like, oh, that had a lot. Like I'm just thinking about the action in some of the other ones. I'm like,
They're just thinking of all the parts yours showed up. That's what they're thinking of.
Look, let me put it to you this way: if you pick best action anime, if off the basis of if somebody was like, "Hey man, I really love action anime. What show should I watch?" If you told them Spy Family, they'd never take one of your advices. Like they'd never take your recommendation again. They'd be like, "Yep, that's it. That guy don't know what the fuck they talking about." So like, that's a bad choice. I'm sorry. The best choice on this list got to be Demon Slayer. Really, I want to say Lycra's Recoil, and I'm going to give Lycra's Recoil probably something that I shouldn't be giving it, but I'm not gonna give it this. Best action got to be Demon Slayer. Like the animation they be doing, and that is it really is like Devin said, like a wizard did it. So I gotta have like that counts when we talk about best action. Fight scene choreography matters. It fucking matters, and like you can't get around or top what they've been doing in Demon Slayer. It's just that's the top. That's the peak. You know, they talk about peak fiction, and a lot of times they get it wrong because they say some generic ass anime like fucking DBZ or some shit like that. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
But this right here, when we talk about animation and choreography, peak fiction. So like that's the choice. Will, what choice you got?
Demon Slayer, hands down, my guy. I love me some JoJo. I've been a JoJo fan ever since I played that fighting game on the PS1. But I guarantee, yes, that's why I picked it. That's why I picked it up at. And when they started bringing the new anime out, sucked me right on in. I was like, "Yep, I'm here. I'm here for JoJo." But Demon Slayer, that's where it's at. I'm sorry
for Demon Slayer. Terrence, you gonna make it 4?
I'm gonna go with Spy Family. I'm gonna go with Demon Slayer. Like Devin said, Demon Slayer is him. There's no way around this. Like, yeah, there's no other choice. Demon Slayer. We're going with that.
You right.
I gotta ask, Will. I know you are also just as big with JoJo's fan as I am. Did it kind of hurt not being able because it had some good action in it. It had some good action.
Very.
But that Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer.
I mean, they real talk though. What they're doing with like just the animation, just how they set stuff up, man, and how they these angles and the shots they're getting, it's like they kind of changing the game. So that's literally taking 100. Like movie level quality type production and putting it into episodes. Like,
yeah, when you get to the movies, you be like, this look like the show.
That's wild.
They already did
it. Man.
They already did it. The next category, this is a little weird, a little awkward, but I mean, we'll do it. We must protect at all costs character. I'm just gonna say Anya because like I didn't watch enough of the other shows, but it's Anya Forger from Spy Family, Boji from Ranking of Kings, Kage from Ranking of Kings, Komi Shoko from Komi Can't Communicate, Kotaro Sato from Kotaro Lives Alone, Marin Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling. So yeah, I'm just gonna say Anya. It's like a 4-year-old kid, you know. She got like a not a super tragic backstory, but a sad enough one that you just like, all right, I just want good things for this character.
Yes.
Will, you got to pick?
It's Anya. Next.
Fair enough. Terrence, you got to pick?
I'm actually going to go Boji. And the reason for it is Boji, when you watch Ranking of Kings, Boji does have a tragic backstory. And despite all that, I do wish Raheem was here for this because he backed me up. Despite all that, he's just a happy and positive character, and he tries to do his best for others. And yeah, he's the type of character you want to protect. You want him to do well. So I like Anya. Don't get me wrong. She's definitely a close second in this regard, but I'm going to go Boji.
Okay. Devin, you have an answer?
Yes. You got some backup, Terrence. I'm going Boji as well, man. That character, like, the fact of him going up all his eyes, he's deaf, he's mute, like, he just, like Terrence said, he's one of them characters you just want him to win. He's just happy. He wants to, even Kage, he's like, hey man, give me your clothes, man. Come up all the clothes. Like, okay, it's just like, bro, like you almost kind of like you happy, you want to cry, like, but he don't. It's like it's one of those things when he's overcoming odds where other people look at like, oh, this kid can't hear. He got a lot of other stuff going on, but he's like, he just don't care. Like, I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do regardless. And I've seen enough of that where I can say like this character, like I would definitely when I looked at that list and I saw that category, I was like, that's my answer because he's just like he's just a lovable little character.
that is a lot of why people rocked with Rank of the Kings, the writing and then just Boji's character. So that makes perfect sense to me. Best supporting character. Ai Hayasaka from Kaguya-sama, Anya Forger from Spy Family, Kage from Ranking of Kings, Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Tengen Uzui from Demon Slayer, Your Forger from Spy Family. Oh, this one's a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
Terrence, what you got for me?
I think I'm gonna go Anya just because I think that without her, the show doesn't work as well. So,
very true.
But I will say that Tengen was an excellent supporting character for Demon Slayer, so you can't go wrong with him either. This is a good list, although Rebecca is definitely a fan choice. So,
definitely.
Yeah, I'll go with Anya.
Okay. Devin, what's up?
So I want to say Kage. I would say Rebecca because with me watching, I know people like, oh yeah, because it was slight. But at the end though, she was like talking some real stuff to this man. Like she was legit trying to like save this man. She started going into her backstory about like, I really had nobody there for me. I was scared. So you're the only other person that I was like, felt like I want to protect somebody else outside of myself now. And that hit hard because I mean, like I said, I know Terrence said with the fans and stuff, it's like, yeah, it was some, clothes coming off and all that. But I think
I guess more so I meant like the ship between her and David.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like people love to ship her with David. I mean, I think she's a good character too. I do agree with what you said. I do think that she is a good supporting character.
Yeah. See, Kage is the same thing. Like Kage, he came up to Boji in a way like he wasn't even trying to be like his friend or like a supporting character. He was just like, hey, run it, hey, do what I say, and this, that, and third.
Run them pockets, big fella.
Yeah, he's like run them pockets.
Almost literally run them pockets.
Yeah, literally. He come back, Boji come back every day. His mom like, why you come in with no clothes on? Oh, he's trying to show him what to do, and they like, all right. And they actually formed a nice bond. But I just off the ending of Edge Runner for me, I'm gonna give it to Rebecca because she was legit trying to like save that man's life at the end. So,
all right. For me, it really is a hard choice, but I was gonna say Tengen, but then Terrence sold me on Anya. First, because I loved Anya, so I mean it's not that hard of a sell. But like Terrence was like, the show doesn't work without Spy Family doesn't work without Anya at all. Like if she's not as likable as she is, the fact that it's more of a slice of life show, I'd probably lose interest. I'd probably be like, if Lloyd was the most interesting character on that show, I would just want to see more Lloyd and I want more action. And the fact that Anya is the most interesting character on the show means that the slice of life tone, it works, and that's why I'm such a big fan of it. So it's definitely once he said that, it clicked in my head because like you can have Demon Slayer without Tengen. It wouldn't be as good of a show, but you could have it. I mean, like in fact, once his arc is done, he's done. He's out of there. Like he's finished with the story. So like the show goes on without him, and the show got popular without him. My family don't get popular without Anya, so I had to go with Anya. Will, what's your pick?
Anya, Waku Waku.
Waka waka.
I can't argue with that at all. Best main character, Boji from Ranking of Kings, Chisato Nishikigi from Like It or Recoil, David Martinez from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Eren Yeager, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, Lloyd Forger, Spy Family, Marin Kitagawa, My Dress Up Darling. I'm just gonna go ahead and kick it off. Man, Chisato, like once again, like that by that logic of does this show without Chisato, that show is just another generic cute girls doing murdery things type ass show. So like she needs that, like the show needs her to work. I don't care as much without her. So like I gotta pick her. There are some other strong entries. Lloyd Forger is a strong entry, although Lloyd the main character? Is Lloyd the main character?
That is a good question. I mean, I guess things do come from his perspective. So technically,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. The rest of them, I saw enough of. I saw some of Cyberpunk, of course. Whenever the story arc is you not the main character, I'm never really that big on that character. But I get that was the thing that sold people on the show. But I mean, it just wasn't for me. That concept of that is not for me. Even if the show's really done well, like Hunter x Hunter kind of does the same kind of thing, where like the main you're like Gone is cool, but you could tell he's not the guy in that universe, and just like David was not the guy of Cyberpunk really. But yeah, every other entry that I of a show that I watched, they don't hold up as well to me as Chisato. So, Will, what's the pick?
Okay, so it took me a second on this one because I'm just like, well, I didn't watch Lycurus Recoil, but I did watch Attack on Titan, did watch Spy Family, hadn't touched Cyberpunk or Ranking the Kings or My Dress Up Darling. But if I had to really give an answer to that, it'll have to be a character from a show I hadn't watched, and it's gonna have to be Boji because I don't see nothing but positivity around him. It's like literally, how can you kind of top that? Like, because I feel like with Spy Family and Lloyd, yeah, it's from his perspective. It's based on his mission that he has to take down. But I'm just kind of like, we kind of know who the real center point of that show is. We know who he really is. And with the other shows, I'm just like, I hadn't sat down with him, but Ranking the Kings is on my list to go ahead and get moving. And if Boji really is this great and he keeps getting this much props, I think he should probably take it.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective on it. Devin, what's your favorite main character?
So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with that. With Boji winning, gotta give it to the little guy, man. Like I said, I just love personally seeing people that have obstacles over them. Well, obstacles that most people look at it as like, how you gonna get past this? And he just doesn't care. Even when he learns to like fight with his sword style, at first it seemed like it's like a almost kind of a passive style, but then they learned that it's like very powerful. He just started winning. Even his brother's like, who's the person that's supposed to be the next up. Well, actually supposed to be Boja, I believe, but because it's like, I don't want this little squeak being the king. And he's he's growing bigger, he's stronger, but Boja's just like, look, man. And it don't really seem like he hold grudges against nobody. Like if people try to do him wrong, he just like, all right, I forgive you. And characters like that, I mean, even in real life, that's kind of hard to do. So seeing the character just be so like selfless and like, look, man, I'm just trying to live my life, make the best of it. So I got to give it again to Boja for best main character.
That is really strong reason. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
Terrence, what's your choice?
So I will say that I do like Chisato as a main character because she kind of continues that trend of characters who can kill but choose not to. You know, like your Rurouni Kenshins, your Vash.
Stampede.
Yeah, your Vash. Yeah, so I do like her in that archetype. That being said, I have to go with Boji too, and my reason is you don't see a protagonist like Boji often or almost at all. Like he's deaf, he's mute. He's not conventional at all. He in another show, he's like a character that would like be in the background or like somebody that would be made fun of as like a joke or something. But in a show like this, he is the main character, and I agree with the points that Will and Devin made. You want to see him succeed, and I like the little guy. I mean, I like him. I like him as a character, and I think that we need more MCs like him, not only from like a diversity perspective, but just also just something different. Yeah, he's very different from anybody else on this list, so I'll definitely give it to him.
You mentioned it. You said diversity. Also, real quick, apparently, and I just learned this not too long ago, mute is like apparently offensive now, and it's nonverbal. So, just wanted to put that out there. I don't want nobody on our ass. So just, nobody knew. So
well,
we getting that out there.
Okay. All right.
But the diversity thing, that was always the thing. Like before I cared anything about any type of political whatever, just give me something I ain't never seen before.
Yeah.
Like some type of like, sometimes they'd be like, oh, they put a woman as a man. I'm like, yeah, bet. Like sometimes I'm tired of seeing dudes like put a woman character, put a female character in a position that I've never seen her in, a position that you see a male character in, and see how she behaves versus how a dude would behave. Like that kind of shit, it shake the show up, like it shake the medium up, and it kind of can grab you. And like an idea that you might have seen 1,000 times, like, oh, well, it's a woman this time. And you go, oh, okay, well, let's see how that plays out. And just how they change, like the shifting, that works. And so, like, y'all are correct. Like, Boji being this type of character that's like something you've never seen before, you like, okay, yeah. So, like, I understand, like, and look at how far Ranking the King, like, I don't know that Ranking the Kings gets as popular as it is without Boji. Because, like, a lot of anime, a lot of fiction relies on like a main character that people like a lot, like over and above everything else. And so to see somebody like Boji captivate so many hearts, because I had not heard, like, I looked at Ranking the Kings, I saw the animation, well, not the animation, but I saw the art style, and I was like, I don't know what this is, I'm finna pass over it. And all I've seen on my Twitch timeline, when that show first came out, people was like, this show fire. This character is amazing. I love this character. I love the writing. So, like, I mean, hats off to him. I didn't pick it because I hadn't seen it, but like, if it won all the awards, I would not be mad at all.
Yeah.
Best director, real quick.
Can I say one thing real quick? Say
what's up? What's up?
We just talked about it, but also with main characters, normally you see like Goku. Oh man, he throw hands with everybody. He the man. I got Ichigo over here. He everything. He everything under the sun. But like you say, you get a main character, just like you take all that dopeness and like, oh, he got all these powers away, and you make that character lovable for something outside of just being super OP. Well, he kind of gets OP later, but not in an unconventional way. So I think that's a testament to that too. Like he ain't got the Super Saiyan Dragon Palm laser sword 5,000. He got to go through some development. So
which I can.
We need more characters like that. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Best director, Haruo Sotozaki, Demon Slayer Entertainment District, Hiroyuki Imaishi, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Kazuhiro Furuhashi, Spy Family, Shingo Adachi, Lycurus Recoil, Yosuke Hatta, Ranking of Kings, Yuichiro Hayashi, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. Let me go ahead and go first. In the same way, like the show don't get to look like how it looked like without a director.
Yeah.
Just being on point and doing their job. And so, like, Demon Slayer looking like what it looks like, you don't get that without Sotozaki doing what he does. And like, without, of course, UFO tape, they got to do they shit too. But like, without the direction and somebody telling you like, okay, use this angle, like that type shit. That's how you get the show. So like, I'm gonna go with Demon Slayer on this one. I can't believe I'm just handing Demon Slayer another fucking award. But I mean, look, it looked like how it looked, and it is one of the most popular anime in Japan for a reason. In fact, it might right now be the most popular anime in Japan, like far and away. So that's got to be the choice. Terrence, you got a choice for me?
I wasn't originally going to say Demon Slayer, but your argument, I think that's a very good one. I mean, yeah, like the camera angles and everything that Demon Slayer has, you wouldn't get that without somebody in the chair giving that direction. The one that I was thinking about choosing was going to be Ranking of Kings, but upon further reflection, I think I will give it to Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is worthy of this award. I think so. I know, when it comes to directors, most anime fans aren't thinking of direction in that regard, but you are right. It is important. It is, I mean, just like with a film and with TV, they have directors. A director is essentially the conductor, and without your conductor, everybody just doesn't know what to do. So it is a very important role.
Will, what's your pick, man?
I had a tough time with this one, and I ain't gonna lie to you. You might well just go ahead and push me into Demon Slayer as well, because you're right about that. Because like, I'm just being honest, because that show don't look that way without someone being like, hey, it needs to be this way. We need to make it look this way. It has to give off this look at this moment at this time. Like, because my choice at the forefront was gonna be Spy Family, because when they got to the second core or the second season, they messed around and got a budget boost. So, and I'm just like, hey, they got this, and it looks great, it moves great, it does what it's supposed to do. But Demon
Spy
Slayer.
Family is not a bad choice at all, by the way.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, but Demon Slayer, I can see it walking away with it because that show just has it all together, and the way those last fight scenes and everything leading up to that fight kind of came about. Yeah, I don't think you can just beat that.
Devin, what's your pick, man?
I want to say Demon Slayer,
Uh-huh.
but I also do think that Cyberpunk was very well done of translating that world into like an actual anime. There was some pretty good scenes, especially some of those chase scenes.
Hey, that's not a bad pick. Like
Yeah.
people started getting interested in Cyberpunk again because of that anime. So
Yeah, very true.
Man, them fight scenes in Demon Slayer though, man. God, all them magicians was in there like bibbidi bobbidi boo. Like, I think I'm just gonna play the black sheep in this one. Not that I don't want to give to Demon Slayer, but I'm gonna give the nod to Cyberpunk on this one because there were some well shot scenes in this one. A lot of the driving scenes, just somehow the setup of some of the places where they went to do some of their little jobs and stuff. So I think I'm gonna give it to Cyberpunk on this one.
No, I rock with that.
I don't think that's a bad
choice
choice at all.
That's solid reasoning. That's good.
So I'm skipping best song. Anybody got a problem with that? Anybody got a best song that they just want to hype up like that?
I'll just say real quick, rumbling.
Yeah, I was gonna say the rumbling.
I'm sorry, but that song right there took over the world when it played when it came out.
Rumbling is for me was the gym song of 2022. Like, hey,
it was.
Best believe PRs were set to rumbling.
Is that how you hit that 270?
Don't say right. How you hit the records? I seen you on Instagram.
I still don't like it. My definite first favorite one is the very first opening from Attack on Titan. That's my favorite. Yes, that one's still good. Rumbling is still good, and it fits. I mean, even just the name, the rumbling, the Titans the shaking the ground it's such a dark, heavy song too. So
what if I told you the official music video literally is Titans walking around as the band performs?
That would make a lot of sense.
It was crazy. I'm like, bro, they really incorporated the show into their own music video. Okay, I thank y'all.
Got you.
Let's go.
All right.
Best continuing series.
Gotcha.
Whew.
All right. Okay, we skipped a lot. Okay, all right, cool.
I got we did, but I mean, like, I tell you what. Does anybody have a best film that they want to pick up? Because like the only film I saw last year, because I'm not a movie guy, like I'm a TV show guy, so I skipped a lot of films. The only film I saw, which was for the review, was Dragon Ball Superhero, and I'd be damned if I give it to that. So I'm not picking this time.
I'll say real quick because the only three that I've seen half, and another half I hadn't seen. I haven't seen Bubble, Ino-O, and if my mouse will work correctly, The Deer King.
That was why I didn't want to do it.
I'll say this though, One Piece Red was actually really good. One, like the fact that it's a musical, but the music works and it's really good. Like One Piece Red really surprised me. I've seen Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, it's good. Dragon Ball Super, it's okay. Me personally, I give it to One Piece Red because I think that was a really well done film, well executed.
You sold me on the musical part, but in general, I didn't want to do this one because I didn't see the non-franchise films, and that just made me feel really. It made me feel like a pleb. I ain't gonna lie to you, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and skip it.
I mean, fair enough.
But I mean, the film Red thing with the musical, I'm like, okay, that is like a unique thing because they didn't have to. They could have just done another One Piece movie.
They certainly could have, and I thought that they were going to. And when I walked in there and found out it was music, I was like, oh,
that's dope.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a favorite film that they want to talk about?
Not really, no.
Nope.
Okay, there we go. Because if somebody had tried to say something about some Orange Piccolo, I was gonna be like, all right, look here. Your time on this podcast may have come to an end.
Best transformation 2022. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, we could do best in sequence, best opening sequence, but I really didn't have anything. Did anybody have like an opening that they wanted to hype up or ending they wanted to hype up?
Uh, I mean, I can go ahead and just say it right now. Like, like for best ending sequence, I was stuck between the Attack on Titan one and Spy Family. And as much as I do like that Attack on Titan one, because I see what it's doing and I love the symbolism and everything it's doing, kind of like telling us how far we've gotten at this
Yeah.
point. I love that. But Spy Family with comedy by Gen Hoshino, come on, man.
That was
Come on,
yeah.
man. That song is fire. I still listen to that song right now. I fucking love that song. Oh my god, it's great, and I love the animation for it too. I love it. I love how it just kind of details them being a family at the end of it all, and I'm just like, I like that. It's beautiful.
I would have had one for best opening, but I don't love the opening for Spy Family 1. The first opening, I don't love that as much as Spy Family's second opening. The second opening just it got that feeling of like fall and like family and even like the way that the opening is done with like the color palette, everything about that is just perfect. And they didn't pick that one, so I don't have an answer.
Right.
But yeah, if nobody has anything, we just gonna pick up with best continuing series.
Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, we can go on.
Best continuing series: Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Kaguya-sama, JoJo, Made in Abyss, and everybody's favorite, One Piece.
Yeah.
Devin, what's your favorite continuing series?
Piece one.
Y'all already know what I'm. This is my personal pick, man. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, man. Like I freaking love this anime. One Piece is another strong one for me, but JoJo.
Man, you ain't caught up on One Piece.
I know. I mean, I'm 700 episodes in, so I'm far in there, but I ain't caught up. I mean, to say I watched 700 episodes, that's still I can still.
Yeah,
say
but
that.
like for the best continuing series of 2022,
like you got me there. You got me there.
So Stone Ocean, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Stone Ocean.
There we go. Terrence, what's up?
Demon Slayer. I just go with that. I mean, Attack on Titan. At this point, I'm just waiting for it to end. Yeah, so I'm not giving Attack on Titan any awards on best continuing or anything like that until it's actually over. Yeah, I'll give it to Demon Slayer.
I'm going to say Demon Slayer 2. Really, quite frankly, I because I hadn't seen Stone Ocean. I'm so far behind. Like the last JoJo I finished was Stardust Crusaders. So I hadn't seen part 4, part 5, and I definitely hadn't seen part 6. So like I can't pick that in good conscience. So I have to pick Demon Slayer. I don't really care about the rest of the series on this list like that. I'm sorry. I was never an Attack on Titan guy. I was never a One Piece guy. So like those you got to pass on. Demon Slayer is still doing great. I suspect I will continue to enjoy it until we get to that last arc, which has some questionable bits. I will not spoil. We will just move on. Right. Will, what's your pick?
As I sit here, I'm just gonna let it be known now. I am not a One Piece fan, but I do not disrespect the show in any way, shape, or form because I know y'all love it. And on top of that, I can't say something about something I hadn't sunk my time into. So I will never disrespect the show unless I find out that it just ain't for me. Other than that, between two of them, which would be Demon Slayer and JoJo, I'm sorry, Demon Slayer. As much as I love what you're doing, it's gonna be JoJo. It's gonna be JoJo. Because I'm sorry, I've read good up on the manga and I've kept up with the show for as long as I have, and I'm not gonna turn my back on JoJo anytime soon. I love it. It's the right amount of crazy. It's the right amount of action. It's the right amount of seriousness. I just love it. It does what it's supposed to do.
That's a good answer. Best new series. This is a more interesting category for me. Call of the Night, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Lycoris Recoil, My Dress Up Darling, Spy Family, and yo boy Kong Ming. Devin, what's your pick, man?
So out of this list, the only one that I am familiar with is Cyberpunk. Spy X Family is one that I do need to go watch because I've heard everybody and their grandma talk about it. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I said this early in the podcast. I didn't really expect much out of Cyberpunk because, first of all, my mind was the game was trash. I don't think I want to watch the anime. But I was like, I'll give it a chance, and it was actually quite surprising for me. It kind of just came out of nowhere. I'm like, this actually was pretty good. And like you said earlier, Sage, it somewhat revitalized the game a little bit. Kind of brought
No,
more
it
interest.
definitely did.
in the game.
Yeah.
No, it was
Yeah.
like top 10 sales and shit. It came out of nowhere.
That
so.
and they actually made the game better around the time the anime came out. So yeah. It all tied together.
Yeah, so just off the fact that it was like good animation, some pretty good voice performances. So and then it revived the game. So yeah, I'm just going to give it to Cyberpunk.
Okay. Will, what's your pick, man?
Oh, my pick?
Yeah.
Spy Family. Spy Family. I'm just saying it came and grabbed me, and it was just like, hey, you're gonna like this, and I do, and I'm ready for more. I know we got that movie coming. I'm all in on Spy Family being the new thing, so I'm with it. Anything that comes out with it, I want to see it. So let's get it going.
We did all pick it like that. I think that was our favorite anime of spring by far. So that's the one. I'm gonna say Lycurus Recoil. I did enjoy that a lot. Spy Family is fantastic though. Like but I'm really going with Lycurus Recoil because like in Japan it's like a juggernaut. In America, I think it's kind of underrated. So and I think it's gonna wind up being like one of those sleeper like, oh man, it really didn't get the respect or that it deserves. So I'm gonna go with Lycurus Recoil in this particular instance. But Spy Family is excellent. You've heard us talk about it so much, so I'm not gonna hold y'all on that one.
Right. Yeah.
Terrence, what's up, man?
For this one, I'm going to choose Spy Family because it's the one out of all these that is going to have the longevity. Like Spy Family isn't going away anytime soon. Yeah, so I'm going with that.
Okay. This one is all right. Best animation. Akebi's Sailor Uniform, Attack on Titan Season 2, Cyberpunk Edge Runners,
Okay.
Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc, Ranking of Kings of the Second Corps, Spy Family. Once again, look, man, what you want me to say? What do y'all want from me? What more do you want from me? Like, have y'all seen what Demon Slayer be looking like? If y'all seen the animation, like it look like your eyes gonna bleed if you stare at it too long. It's like staring at the sun. That shit pretty as fuck. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I love Spy Family. Spy Family got some great moments, some great animation. That part, the part with the soccer game, well, not the dodgeball game.
Oh yeah.
Homegirl was Star Catch Air. Man, that shit was hilarious, bro. And it was well animated. Like even the part where she was training with her mom in the park and shit, and the way that they set up the light, beautiful. But like, that's like the difference between a genius in high school and like a super genius that skipped high school and went straight to get his PhD. They not the same. All right. They both great, but they not the same. And I can't not pick Demon Slayer on this one. So I hate to, be just handing out Demon Slayer awards because I feel like it gets too much hype. But this one it's got to get. Will, what's up?
Demon Slayer, because Demon Slayer was looking like some Demon Slayer.
Correct. Terrence, what's up?
I will say this first, that I noticed that Witch Studio and Cloverworks, they technically have a 2 each on here because they have a collaboration with Spy Family. Witch Studio did Ranking of Kings, and Cloverworks did Akebi's Sailor uniform. So, hey, I guess props to them. They just killing it. But Demon Slayer, it has to go to them. Like, come on, you have eyes. If you can't see that Demon Slayer is a clear choice, I'm going to tell you to polish them, put them back in your head, and watch it again. And if you still pick something other than Demon Slayer, give me your ring.
No, give me your eyes.
Give me your eyes and give me your ring.
I'm finna be a Uchiha. Give me your eyes. Cough them up. You don't need them no more.
See what you see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe I can turn them into a Mangekyo Shuriken. Devin, what's your pick, man?
I mean, there's really only one clear choice, man. And I gotta give it to Dragon Ball Z, man.
Huh?
Dragon Ball Z, man.
What? Excuse me.
That definitely threw me off.
I was like, where's Dragon Ball Z on the list?
I swear, I was questioning that. I'm like, did I miss something?
Y'all don't remember that fight between Gohan and Cell, man?
I remember it
But,
in like 1997, but I don't.
Yeah, Demon Slayer got this one, man. It's three on here to me personally that I feel like had really good animation. I actually personally love the animation style of Attack on Titan. I feel like if maybe that one on the list, that could be a good contender for me personally. Cyberpunk was also really good, but just I mean, like I said, man, Demon Slayer, they got black mages and red mages in the back just whipping up spells. Cause it's
Whipping up
ridiculous.
animation.
It's just ridiculous, man.
Best character design: Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, My Dress Up Darling, Ranking of Kings Core 2, Second Core, excuse me, and Spy Family. Terrence, give me something that ain't Demon Slayer.
I'm actually going with Ranking of Kings just because it has the most unique look. I remember when I first saw Ranking of Kings, I thought it was like Ghibli at first. It was like, wow, this doesn't look like, your stereotypical anime, or at least how we perceive anime to look now. So yeah, character design, I'll give it to Ranking of Kings all day. I think that they did a marvelous job with it.
Will, what you got for me?
Giving it to JoJo because Araki Sensei just be out here finding things, and he just like, you know what, I'm gonna incorporate that, and it's gonna work.
That's a good reason to pick that. Devin, what's your pick?
Gotta give it to JoJo, man. That's legit one of the things that made me love JoJo so much. Just so unique. Like I say, if y'all done probably heard me say this 1,000 times, it's just so unique. The characters are so unique. The abilities, they always give the characters these unique outfits. These crazy. They got to do and it's just one of the most unique things I've seen. They take chances. They take risks with like their designs too. That I see more outside of other stuff. Like let's say for instance, Demon Slayer. Like it's kind of conventional with like the style the way they do their characters, but like JoJo, like they just do some off the wall stuff. It's just like, dang, I kind of respect that they just do something so different from anything else. So got to give it to JoJo.
I'm stuck here because I haven't seen enough of anything else of these, but I also, even though Demon Slayer has really great character designs, like really distinctive, it's something about that JoJo, man. Like even just off the characters I've seen of Stone Ocean, it's just like those characters. As soon as you see an Araki design, you know who it is.
Yep.
They ain't even necessarily got to do no pose. You can just look at it and you like, that look like a JoJo character.
Yep.
That's one of them. So that's gonna be my choice. It's gonna be Stone Ocean. Yeah, I mean the poses help. You see the pose, you like, oh, that's definitely a JoJo character. But like the designs themselves, they also stand out in that respect. All right, we got two left. Best original anime. Let's go. Yuri Deco, Vampire in the Garden, The Orbital Children, Lycanus Recoil, Healer Girl, and Birdie Wing Golf Girl Story. Okay, look. Man, if this would have been the last one I probably would have picked Birdie Wing, just because it's very few other anime where it's like golf. Like it's such a unique designs for that. But as far as best original anime, like an anime that is not based on no light novel, it's not based on no manga, it's just, hey, we gonna make an anime and throw it out there. Lycanus Recoil, it's that popular. It's a juggernaut in Japan for a reason. Like it really was, I think, the best-selling anime, I think, in Japan, I believe, was Lycanus Recoil the season it came out. So I'm gonna pick that. Birdie Wing is a great secondary choice. I saw like the first episode, and it looked like my kind of stupid, like the kind of like, man, it's some straight up anime nonsense. It looked like my kind of nonsense, but I hadn't gotten a chance to finish it, so I can't put that above Lycanus Recoil. So I'm gonna go with Lycanus Recoil. Terrence, do you have a pick?
It's going to be Lycanus Recoil. Yeah, I mean, I've seen all Lycanus Recoil, and out of all the categories that it deserves to win, I feel like this one, it should win hands down. I do agree with you that Birdie Wing, I wish I had watched a little bit of that, but never got the chance to. And the others, I've heard of them. I've heard of the Orbital Children. I've heard this. It's decent, but yeah, Lycanus Recoil, Yeah, this is like it's in a distant first place, and everything is like way behind. That's how I see it. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, it was one of the best anime of the year, so it should definitely be considered like the best original anime of 2022. So yeah,
I mean, with these choices, I would say so.
yeah.
Now, granted, I haven't seen Yuri Deco, and I definitely haven't seen the Orbital Children. I did watch a little bit of Healer Girl. Not quite my thing. Devin, do you have a choice?
So again, these are ones I'm not super familiar with. I will say Birdie Wing. That's something that kind of has piqued my interest because I do like golf. It gives me that Hot Shots golf feel in anime form,
Nice
and
shot.
I do like sports animes, especially stuff that's out of the way. I don't like golf in real life, but I'm sure I would like golf in anime style. So that will probably be my choice. But I am hearing a lot about Lycurus Recoil, especially from Sage. I know I heard them talk about like last podcast, I believe, or one of the last podcasts.
When we
But
did
that's
the best anime of the year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Um,
definitely one I'm gonna check out because
It has a lot of gunplay, so I mean, it's been called like John Wick the anime. So while I wouldn't quite say it's John Wick,
it's not quite John Wick.
It's not
but it's
John
definitely
Wick,
got a lot
but-
of gunplay.
yeah,
He
yeah.
said John Wick like, so that sounds pretty cool. I actually
Got a
didn't
lot
think
of
that's
people
what it'll
getting,
be like.
you know, all of that. I'm
It
not
has
gonna
some
say
good
like
sequences. I'll put it that way. Like the last like 4 episodes have some really good action sequences. So if anything, I think it's worth a watch. I really do. Like I think
and it's short.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Will, you got a pick for us?
I sadly don't have a pick in this fight because I'm just kind of like a lot of these shows. Those shows I just hadn't really sat down and watched. Like I've heard of Yuri Deco, and I know about Lycurus Recoil because of you and Birdie Wing. I know about that and Healer Girl, but the rest of these I don't really know much about. So I'm just kind of like can't really pick on something that I hadn't watched. So I'm just kind of like,
Hey man, an abstaining is respectable. I'm not mad at you.
Hey,
I
no
will
point in giving an opinion on something you don't know about. More people could stand to do that.
Facts.
I will say off the strength of Sage and Terrence talking about this anime, and I just looked at a little bit of it, and it has a dude in there look like Barrett from Final Fantasy 7. Kind of like an older Barrett. Yeah, I think I'm sold now.
All right, okay. I'm glad I can get somebody sold on it. Anime of the year, we finally got here. I'm always, anytime somebody game of the year, anime of the year, I'm like, we putting a lot on it, man.
yeah, you are.
Because if it ain't, even if it is fire, like you just saying this shit on every other anime, really kind of. So I ain't never been too big on these, but it is what it is. We here now. Let's just embrace it.
We got it.
Attack on Titan final season part 2. Which, how many episodes was that?
12, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it
I
was
thought
12.
it was like some 6 or Selma or some shit. I
No,
was
they
like,
just
wait a minute,
been goofy.
No.
This whole core, like, okay, so the final season part 1 was 12 or 13, whatever, and season part 2 is 12, and now they're having it where part 3 is going to be split into 2.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
cool for
episodes
that.
is going to be each of those. It's so goofy, man.
This Final
I
Fantasy
truly
15
believe it's because Mappa is so busy that they can't just do it all together, but it just makes it like it just seems like they're just stretching it out at this point.
Yep.
Okay. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Entertainment District Arc, Lycurus Recoil, Ranking of Kings Second Core, Spy Family. Devin, what's your anime of the year?
So there's 2 I'm looking at, and I think I know the answer. And I would say one would be it, but just because of the fact that it only had like it's just a simple, short, sweet ending. It's nothing. It's just not a continuing anime. I'm gonna have to give it to Demon Slayer, man. I'm gonna have to go ahead and give it to that Entertainment District Arc, man.
It's a solid
Yes.
choice.
Like watching that art, I'm just like, bruh. Again, aside from just the animation, just like the fight, just the attacks, everything that's happening, just like the beginning of it is like kind of a little lighthearted where they're like, oh, they're dressing up and stuff, and then stuff just get real so fast, and it's just like, and that ending too was also, it almost kind of jerked at you emotionally because those two demons, the brother and sisters, like they start getting into some deep stuff about. It's like I wish you know. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute now, hold on. I just wanted a dope fight. I ain't gotta make me start crying now. Like, come on, man. So that it kind of brings it to this whole, and even his sister, like the fact that she starts like just getting super OP, and it's like, hey man, if you don't stop this, man, she gonna be a problem. So like even seeing him like have to, and again, like I said about the whole emotional part, like it's so much stuff going on with Demon Slayer. It's emotional, it's funny, action, the best animated thing ever. So it's just got a lot going on for us. So I think it deserves being anime of the year.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Terrence, what you got for me, man?
This one's rough just because all of these are really good choices. The only one I'll say I feel like shouldn't be there is Attack on Titan, just because it ain't done. And that, and also Attack on Titan's been in the anime of the year category for like these past couple of years now. It's like it's just been a recurring thing just for it to be there. But it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just that at this point, I think a lot of Attack on Titan fans just want it to be over, so then we can have a real discussion about it. But
Right.
whatever. For me, and this is just for me personally, the anime that stuck with me, and I mean, I already talked about this in our top 10 anime of last year episode. The anime that stuck with me the most out of all these, it's still Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Like that anime, from start to finish, it had me hooked. There was never like a lull point. I was invested in the characters. I was invested in the story. It actually had like the Netflix binging thing going on where I legitimately just wanted to keep watching from episode to episode, and I did. As much as I like Demon Slayer, and this arc was amazing, there were some points where I didn't feel as invested. Like later on, I definitely got invested, but when the arc was first starting out, there were some points where I was like, okay, well, where is this going? You know, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I feel like if I had to pick one that I think is going to win, it probably would be Demon Slayer or Spy Family. But for me personally, my pick would have to be Cyberpunk Edge Runners, just because for me that was the anime that I enjoyed the most last year. So I'll give it to that.
That's a solid choice. Will, what is your pick for anime of the year? You know,
For this category, I'm not gonna lie. Like Terrence said, all of these definitely have a claim to that award. I'm not even gonna hold you. All of them do. But for me personally, even though I love Demon Slayer when it was running, and I love how everything went with Attack on Titan, even though I'm just really hoping they just go ahead and fucking finish this shit. Spy Family is my choice because it was the new thing, and it ain't because it's the new thing that I wanted to win. It's because it being the new thing and it actually held my attention. It actually was like, hey, I'm actually pretty solid. Come give us a try. Because all I heard about was the manga for like months on end before the show ever happened. And then once the show happened, I'm just like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And I think it's maybe 1-for-1 with the manga at this point before it goes into the next like season in the movie and so on and so forth. And so far, I love it. I think it should get it. I think this show has grabbed the hearts of many people. So, Spy Family Anime of the Year.
I love Lycra's Recoil a lot, but it's a lot. It's putting a lot on it to say it's anime of the year. It's very good. Chisato is a great character, but like, come on, man, like I can't put it that high. It definitely was in my top 5 when we did the anime of the year, but it was not number 1. None of these would be my personal choice for anime of the year, but and you know we talked about that. If you want to check it out, we did it a couple of weeks ago. Of these 6, I'm gonna go with Spy Family. Demon Slayer was really strong, but I do agree with Terrence how there's a part during the Entertainment District arc where you're just kind of like, okay, where's this going? And it kind of loses your interest for a little bit. Especially in animated form. In manga form, I just kind of sped through those chapters and got right back to the action and never really thought about it. When you're watching the anime, you have to move at the anime's pace. And even though the pace is solid, it can lose you for a little bit. So that one, it kind of took it out of, if I'm nitpicking like that kind of gets taken out of the running. So Spy Family is the one that I was just constantly wanted to see what was going to happen next with Lloyd and Yor and Anya and even Bond. You just want to see, what kind of adventure are they going to get into next. The only thing I don't know if it can continue at that pace of keeping my interest, because it is, you do want to see like some progress behind the scenes of like, okay, does this war between the East and the West, does that ever come to an end? Do they ever find out that Anya can, all that stuff? But for right now, where it's at, if you told me that one anime of the year, I would be like, good, it deserves it. So like, and I mean, like, one thing that I want to say is that very few anime have such like a lovable cast like all the way through.
Oh yeah.
Very few. A lot of them, you might like one or two characters. You might like the main character. Maybe you hate the main character, but you like the supporting cat. I like everybody in Spy Family. Even the brat son, Damien. I wanted to. So what does Anya call him? The second son?
Yeah, call him second son.
Yeah, even second son, like he got endearing characteristics to him, to where I'm like, yeah, that guy, like, like in the dodgeball game, well, a homeboy with the giant ass M Bison looking motherfucker flung that dodgeball at him, and he stopped it, got knocked out the arena because he was trying to save Anya because he got a little crush on. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cute. And Anya being like, the second son, he died to save me. I'm not dead. Like that, all of that kind of stuff is great. It sticks with you months after you've seen it. Anya trying to do things and just being horrible at them, trying to do tennis and she horrible, trying to do violin, she break the violin strings, like all that kind of stuff. It just stick with you and just makes you happy. And so like for that's gonna be my favorite. That's got to be the anime of the year. So
yes.
I have no idea because I didn't bother to look when they're gonna do the awards, because like
March 4th.
Yeah, it's like in March. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I do want to kind of revisit these, kind of see if how many of us got it right. Like because like for me, I didn't pick what I think is gonna win, and I think y'all all did the same. We all just pick what we like the best, and so I do want to kind of see whether we come close or not. We'll see. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode. And I need you to do us a favor. I need you to hit that subscription button on YouTube. I need you to follow us on Twitter and TikTok. Don't just check us out. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody, tell your coworkers. You don't know, you might make a new friend. And do me a personal favor and have an excellent week. Peace.